Hey everybody, I'm about to share a video that makes some claims that I've responded to in the past, but these claims are making the rounds again all over social media, so I think it's necessary to respond again. Let's take a look.
How could the Bible have written word for word exactly what it looks like when a spirit enters a fertilized egg? This is insane.
All right, let's see it. So this footage is making the rounds all over social media again, along with claims that this is evidence that life begins at conception, that there is some kind of supernatural entry of a soul or spirit into the egg at conception. Now, there are a couple of big problems with this. One is that this is not actually the moment of conception as it is conventionally known. Most people associate conception with intercourse. This is fertilization, and then implantation will follow that, both of which can take place anywhere from hours to days after intercourse. So let's be clear about what actual event we mean when we're talking about conception. This is the moment of fertilization, kinda, because that brings up the second big issue. This is not the actual fertilization of a human egg. This is a simulated fertilization, and there is no such light that occurs in an actual fertilization. This light is artificially generated to show scientists who are observing the release of zinc. And it is achieved by bathing this egg in a petri dish in what are known as fluorophores, or chemicals that will create light when they come into contact with zinc. This footage is associated with this article. The zinc spark is an inorganic signature of human egg activation. And I want to start reading the abstract around the middle of the fourth line down. We monitored calcium and zinc dynamics in individual human eggs using selective fluorophores following activation with calcium ionomycin, or HPLC zeta cRNA microinjection. These egg activation methods, as expected, induced rises in intracellular calcium levels and also triggered the coordinated release of zinc into the extracellular space in a prominent zinc spark. The ability of the gamete to mount a zinc spark response was meiotic stage dependent. Moreover, chelation of intracellular zinc alone was sufficient to induce cell cycle resumption and transition of a meiotic cell into a mitotic one. Together, these results demonstrate critical functions for zinc dynamics and establish the zinc spark as an extracellular marker of early human development. So this is not the actual fertilization of a human egg. This is a human egg in a petri dish, and activation is artificially simulated with certain chemicals. And the light is the result of the interaction of zinc with those fluorophores that generated that light. So in an actual fertilization of a human egg, there is no such light. There is just the release of zinc. So this video is entirely artificial and is not what the actual fertilization of a human egg looks like. Now let's get to the part where this content creator tries to tie this into the Bible.
He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. This was that true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. Also, one of the coolest parts about this is that verses 3 and 4 introduce us to the true light of the world, exactly like verses 3 and 4 of the very first page of the Bible.
Yes, the author of that passage is appealing to Second Temple Jewish ideas about the contrast of light and dark. We see this in several parts of the New Testament. We see it in the Dead Sea Scrolls with the conflict between the sons of light and the sons of dark. This binary notion of light and dark is a part of the ideologies of Second Temple Judaism, and obviously they build on what is found in the Hebrew Bible. But again, because there is no actual light that is generated when a human egg is actually fertilized, This is utterly irrelevant. Again, we have people who saw a video and just believed what was said about it without thinking critically, without bothering to go investigate or confirm. What's actually going on in that footage is that light is artificially being produced in a petri dish using chemicals that are interacting with the zinc that is actually generated when an egg is fertilized. Also, this is not an actual fertilization. This is just the simulation of a fertilization by the introduction of those chemicals that are mentioned in the article's abstract. This is just misinformation. And the fit for this video is still my Data Over Dogma tee, which is available in the Data Over Dogma stores in my link tree.